Hello, Sim friends, or should I say dag dag Sim friends. Welcome to another speed build by me, Jessica. This is a rustic wedding venue that was kind of inspired by a friend's wedding that she had in California, where all the redwood trees are. Out by like the John Muir Woods. John Muir, who is the was the founder of the Sierra Club. Um, so there's some really cool redwood trees out in California that are named after him. And so that's what I decided to build. Because there aren't a whole lot of wedding venues, and I don't know, this is just something that I thought of. Coincidentally, Irrelevant Sims is actually also doing a wedding venue series right now, and that I had no idea that was happening, and then I saw it, and I was like, oh, dang, I'm doing the same thing. So hopefully they don't think that I am copying them. But so I made what I'm building right now is kind of a path walkway, because if you've ever been to John Muir Woods or really any national park or state park that has protected trees, usually they'll have a path that you're supposed to stay on. And John Muir Woods has a elevated wooden walkway. And so that's what I'm recreating right here. I had a little trouble with the walls, so I kind of had to like delete some walls and then rebuild some walls and then delete them again to make it one big room. And that way it's just easier to do things like fencing and flooring and that kind of stuff. So in Sim news, we just recently, maybe not recently, but in the last week or so, we saw a preview or a teaser trailer for a new toddler stuff pack that's coming out. That's pretty exciting. Even though I kind of feel like we just got toddlers, and I would like to see some other stuff happening, you know, with The Sims. Some newer stuff, but I'm not trying to hate. I am excited about having new stuff at all whatsoever. I'm really excited about like the tree looking dollhouse that's coming out with that pack, so that should be cool. Hopefully, you know, it lives up to the standard I have come to expect. You'll notice I just built a ceiling on the first floor, and then it took me a while to realize that it had also built over the wooden walkway. So it takes me a couple minutes, and this is at 4 times speed too, so it took me several minutes to realize that it was over there, and then eventually I delete it because it looks ridiculous. There I go to delete it. So what this build has, or what this venue has, is a little log cabin. It's kind of supposed to be like an event hall, you know, where they have bathrooms and a kitchen and that kind of stuff, so that you can have an event there. And it's, you know, really rustic. I built this in Granite Falls, which is the neighborhood or the vacation destination that came with the outdoor retreat stuff pack. I did make a mistake, and I have a bone to pick with, you know, the Sim Gurus and EA because I realized when I went to do the screenshots for this video, and I had a couple come to this venue to have a wedding, it wouldn't let me marry them. It says you cannot have a wedding in a vacation destination, which makes no sense. EA Games, Maxis, Sim Gurus, have you never heard of destination weddings? That is totally a real thing. So if you download this, it's a 40 by 30 lot. In the gallery under Rustic Wedding Venue, you can look for the hashtag snark or look for my username, which is the same as my YouTube name, JessJurassic_snark. So if you go to download this, don't put it in Granite Falls because you won't be able to use it. But you can put it in any other 30 by 40 lot. So there's plenty of those in all of the neighborhoods. I don't recommend putting it in Oasis Springs because this is definitely not like a desert style. It would not work. It would not fit at all. I don't recommend doing that. Because you'll see later I put in a lot of like trees. Like I was saying, I wanted it to look like kind of the redwood forest, and so I put in a lot of like pine trees, and it's not going to make any sense in Oasis Springs. But anyway, so don't make that kind of mistake. Just so you know, there is no way to have a wedding in Granite Falls, which again makes no sense to me, but it is what it is. I wish we had more vacation destinations. I know that can't just be me every time, every forum that I'm on, every group, Facebook group that I'm in, everyone's always talking about how they want more vacation destinations. So I'd be interested to know down in the comments, what are some vacation destinations that you would like to see in The Sims 4? Because we only had one, and it was the first expansion pack for The Sims 4. It was a really long time ago. And so it's time for some new ones. It's time for some new vacation destinations. And from what it sounds like, the packs that are in the works right now, the toddler pack, the eco stuff pack, and then pets, which is rumored to come out at the end of the year, there's no vacation destinations included in any of those. So it doesn't make any sense to me. So hopefully that comes out soon. What do you want to see? Do you want to see Island Paradise, like in The Sims 3? Would you be interested in seeing some things like we had in The Sims 2? So I guess really the only one that we would be missing would be like the kind of like Japanese or like Asian style vacation that we had in The Sims 2, which I really loved. I thought that was super, super cool, and I think it'd be really easy for them to add that into this game, especially because we have so many kind of really cool items, multicultural items that came with City Living. I think it would be really easy for them to just make that into a vacation destination. But what would you like to see for a vacation destination? Let me know down in the comments. So also I just want to mention it's been a little while since I built anything or uploaded anything to put up on YouTube. I had kind of an unexpected thing happen last weekend, and it kind of ate up a whole lot of my time, and so I wasn't able to get anything up on YouTube, but I'm back, hooray, with a vengeance, and able to do this. And so I have a bunch of builds that I'm starting to work on and that I'm excited to show you and have uploaded to the gallery and have uploaded on YouTube pretty soon. So here I'm picking out windows. These windows did not work at all. I wanted it to look, it looks too much like a church. And that's not kind of like the look that I was going for. I was kind of looking for just like a rustic function hall, maybe something that you would see. I don't know. I grew up, my brother was really big into the Boy Scouts, and so they would have like function halls there. I think this is a little nicer than any of the function halls they ever had. But that's kind of what I wanted it to look like. Yeah, that window wouldn't go there, even though I have move objects on. I don't know why. It says that it was intersecting with the closet, which makes no sense. But it was. But anyway, so I wanted it to look like a function hall. This is supposed to be like a rustic style wedding. So this isn't for a couple who has a lot of money. This wouldn't be, the kind of wedding that someone pours a lot of funds into. This is kind of more for relaxed, outdoorsy Sims, outdoorsy people who just kind of want to have like just an intimate outdoorsy ceremony with some friends and family. I wish we had more than 2 wedding arches, and I know I'm not the only person who builds that says that. It took me a while to kind of decide what I wanted because I really didn't feel like either of them went, because everything is dark wood, but I really wanted to have like pink be the palette, pinks and purples be the palette, and so I just didn't really feel like anything else really worked except for that one. But it does seem kind of weird. So then I started using lighter wood and the rest of it to make it not look so strange. What are you going to do? So I really love those lights that we got. I think that was with City Living, and this like flower petal rug. I think it's so perfect for what I was going for and for what I'm working to achieve. So it's really perfect for wedding venues, which is awesome. And then these outdoor chairs that we got, like these kind of like wooden log chairs that we got with Outdoor Retreat. I use a lot of Outdoor Retreat stuff for this build. So if you don't have Outdoor Retreat, you're going to have a rough time downloading this, because pretty much all of the landscaping and a lot of the furniture comes from Outdoor Retreat. So if you don't have that one, but I bet you probably do because it's been out for a really long time, and I don't know, I think that's the pack that's been out the longest. It was the first one, so hopefully you have it. If you don't, you're just gonna have to go to the gallery and download something else that I built, because I have all kinds of stuff up on the gallery. I have a lot of stuff, maybe not a lot of stuff, but I have some stuff from the Parenthood pack and the Fitness pack. I think my most popular download is Parenthood pack Farmhouse. A little red farmhouse. It's like 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, something like that. It's really cute. It has over 100 downloads. So if you like that kind of stuff, you should check it out. Um, so I'd be interested to know, what kind of stuff you want to see built. Like I have a whole list of stuff. I think I said this in one of my last videos, but I have a whole list of stuff that I want to do. But I'm also interested to know, like, what is it that you want to see? Do you like watching videos of builds that are usable, practical starter homes, mid-sized family homes, maybe mansions, that kind of stuff? Or are you more interested in community lots like this one? Bars, lounges, that kind of thing? Or are you more interested in like kind of cool architectural stuff? Like things that might be difficult to build, cathedrals, historical things, um, that kind of stuff. So let me know, and that way I'll be able to kind of cater to what y'all would like to see. So I did categorize this. It's a community lot. It's a lounge. And so I had to do a couple of workarounds to make it work. Because, for all of the different types of community lots, you have to have certain requirements. So here I wanted to use the move objects sheet to like make a cute curtain something backdrop for the sweetheart table where the bride and groom sit. But because columns, like even with move objects on and holding down the Alt key, they will only snap to the corners on the lot of the grid. And so here I am, like trying everything to make it work. I'm trying to make it snap to the window, but then when I delete the window, it's like became one object with a curtain. And so it still was not working. And then, I was like, maybe I'll just leave it. Maybe I'll try like putting a tree there. But I ended up just deleting it because it just looked awkward and weird, like these just curtains like floating in midair. Didn't work out. What are you gonna do? I wish, everything played by the same rules in The Sims. I feel like a lot of the rules for building and like what you can use the Alt key on and what you can't and what things snap and what things don't snap. I wish it was the same for everything, but it's just not. So maybe someday. And then instead of having like a DJ, I decided to just put speakers up, but then also have, one of those little mini stages so that, your Sims friends or family members could be the ones who like perform music at the wedding. I thought that was kind of cool. Kind of like a neat little idea. And then later I put in a guitar there too, so that they have something to play, a guitar and a microphone, because you need a microphone for a lounge venue. I think it looks fine. It doesn't look out of place when I put the microphone in, but I think it would be weird if your Sims just started doing like a stand-up routine. Maybe not. Who knows? Maybe you got really funny Sims and like all of their friends are comedians and that's just what they do. Possibly. I don't really see that being realistic, but you do you. So I put these rugs out. I just thought it made it look a little bit more decorated, a little bit more formal. And then I really love the lights that we have for this, like the 2 lantern lights that came with the outdoor retreat stuff pack. So I actually cut out where I put all of the lighting up, just because this video was like pushing 30 minutes and I didn't want to do it any faster than I had already started doing it, so I just cut it out, but that's fine. I think a lot of simmers do that. And then here's the pool area, which is like actually like a lake, even though it's a pool. And so I put some rocks and some grass under there because I really think it, like if you just have it empty, I don't think it looks as good. I don't think like the immersion is as real, but that looks really good from the top down, like once you go up to the surface. I think it just kind of like completes it like helps you suspend your disbelief a little bit more that it's not just a pool that I've disguised to look like a lake. And then when you do this, I think probably the best trim to use is the green, like the thinnest trim that's green, because I think it's the one that blends in the most. And then for the floor of the pool, I used the unfinished basement floor, and then the walls, I just used those like stone walls, just so that it looks, I mean, I wish that we had something for the walls like the unfinished basement floor, but we don't. So what are you going to do? And then for the edges, I use the tall grass and then the regular grass and then the low-lying pale yellow flowers, which everybody uses for everything because it's so perfect for this kind of stuff, because they're so dense and they're so flat. And then I sized up some rocks, and then I put these like really beautiful purple flowers around the music area, and I thought that that looked so nice that I would actually add lavender to the outside of the pool too. So, like I said, those white flowers and the purple flowers, not the lavender, but the purple flowers, come with the outdoor retreat pack. So, if you don't have that, you're going to have a tough time with this lot. But um, and then it wouldn't be complete without some pool accessories that we got with the get together stuff pack. So I guess they're not really pool accessories. They're like the lily pads and all that good stuff. That looks so cool. And then you'll see I had to like fix some clipping issues. See that? I hate how some stuff clips and some stuff doesn't. It drives me crazy. I wish I understood the rules around that. You know how I was saying like I wish the rules were the same for everything. They're totally not. So I wish I understood like why. Maybe if you know, tell me. I would love for you to tell me because I just don't understand why sometimes some things clip, some things don't clip, sometimes things snap, sometimes things don't snap. So if you know the answer to that, if you're a sim guru or if you know someone who is, you or someone you know, let me know because it does drive me crazy. And I think if I understood the rules more, or like why things are coded certain ways, maybe it wouldn't bother me as much. But here I am putting in all the trees and the landscaping. I just think it looks really, really cool. I would love to have a wedding in like a rustic venue like this. And then, of course, it's decorated on the outside with some balloons, and you'll see me put even more of those up. And I thought about using this guy, but he's too big. And then, out of curiosity, I just had to see how big he would get. But I think that'd be really funny if you just had a lot where it was just like a gigantic sized up jackalope guy. I think it would look really funny from like the neighborhood view. But I decided not to do that, obviously, because that makes no sense. So yeah, I decorated the outside of the building. You'll see me put those balloons up on the inside too, and then some like the wedding flowers on the inside. So like the very cheap budget that these people had, that the Sims had, or that the lengths that the people who work at this national park were willing to go to. So here I am doing the kitchen. I wanted it to be like a really, not like a fancy kitchen at all. I wanted it to be like a really functional, practical, budget kitchen. In fact, I actually was thinking of like the kitchen at the church that I went to growing up, and like what it looked like. And, it was very like utilitarian. So it wasn't fancy at all. And I think that makes sense for this build and what it's supposed to be. So that's why I chose like the really plain counters and cabinets and kind of like the old-fashioned, maybe not old-fashioned, but like older looking kind of utilitarian stoves and ovens and refrigerator. Just because, even though that's the one that came with the Parenthood pack, so I guess that's not really utilitarian looking, but I think you know what I'm trying to go for. I think you get what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Just so it's like really functional. It doesn't look like, they would have spent a whole lot of money refurbishing stuff. That's also why I use like the older, like the 70s style coffee machine, like the 70s style microwave, and like the cheaper looking dish rack and that kind of stuff, and then added in some other things. And then on the walls, obviously I don't want it to look too plain, but still I wanted to kind of maintain that kind of utilitarian thing going on. So I put up, I did do a backsplash. I thought that was kind of cool, because I've been seeing people do that a lot recently. But I put in like a fire extinguisher and just some like knives and that kind of stuff. And then I put a paper towel dispenser over the trash can, because I think that's something that you would see in this like style of kitchen, like the pots and pans on the wall and that kind of stuff. But like not a whole lot of decorations in the kitchen, because like why would you waste money doing that if you were a national park and you were renting this space out? So what's really good about this lot is that you have pretty much everything to satisfy your sim needs except a bed. But there's lots of couches, so I guess if they had to take a nap during their wedding, but that's kind of lame. Maybe it was like a really rockin' party and they had to like, I don't know, take a nap in the middle of their wedding. But so obviously a fully functioning kitchen. And then upstairs, there are 3 bathrooms. 2 are meant to be kind of guest bathrooms for the guests for the wedding. And then another one is attached to the bridal suite, which you'll see me do upstairs in a little bit. So yeah, I would love to have a wedding in a place like this. I think it's really cute. You know, having like the fireplace. And then to get those quarter square floor tiles, you just hit Control F if that's something you don't already know how to do. I feel like probably at this point, everybody knows every cheat and every trick and tip for everything, except for maybe me. So, but, you know, I feel like it's important to share the tools of the trade because otherwise I wouldn't know what the heck I was doing. So yeah, I wanted to make it look like as rustic and cabiny as possible. I sized up the bass on the wall. Thought that was pretty cute. I really love that. And then I'm gonna get rid of those curtains because they're stupid, and then put in more decorations for the wedding. And I put a closet right there. That's another really cool thing. So, you know, your Sims not only can change their clothes without having to go upstairs to look in a mirror, but there's a spot for anyone who feels any sort of romantic tendencies to be able to act those out. Maybe they can consummate their marriage with a woohoo in the closet. Why not? It's The Sims. You do whatever you want in The Sims. So here we are. Now finally we're upstairs in the bridal suite. I did not make a groom suite. Sorry, grooms. But generally I feel like it's not quite as labor intensive for grooms to get ready for weddings as it is for brides. So in this room, I actually delete that couch. I put in a closet and a Shea lounge and then a makeup table because obviously you need one of those. And so this is a room just for like the bride and, you know, all of the bridesmaids and, you know, the mothers to get together and hem and haw and do the things that they do before a wedding. So I've been a bridesmaid twice. I kept one of the dresses. The other one I did not keep. I'm just curious for you all. So I'm 31. At this point, most of my, not most, but many of my friends and family that are like close to my age, or the people that I went to high school with, or the people that I stayed close with, a lot of them have started getting married or have finished getting married, have started having kids, have finished having kids. So curious for you, how many weddings have you been in? And if you have been in weddings, like what like role did you fulfill? So I've been So I was a bridesmaid twice, and then I've been a guest book attendant twice as well, too, which is kind of like a weird, I didn't even know that was a thing until I was asked to do it. So, yeah, a guest book attendant. Make sure everybody signs the guest book. Super important. Because otherwise, how will you remember who was at your wedding? So we're starting to come up on the end here. I'm decorating the bridal bathroom. It's pink, obviously. Everything in these rooms is pink and white because it's a bridal suite, and that's kind of, you know, what you have to do. And then upstairs, you'll see I'm kind of, once I get to the next room, I'm kind of trying to solve the whole, like, how do I make this a lounge problem? How do I get everything in that needs to get in to make sense? So the thing that I struggled with the most was the bar stools. So I started to put a bar, you can see it right there. I put it upstairs in like the second story lounge room. And then here because you need to have 2 love seats. So here I am putting the love seats. But what I was afraid of is that the bartender who automatically like shows up would tend this bar, not the one outside downstairs. So I end up getting rid of that. And I put in a game table instead, because sometimes that's like a party requirement that like Sims have to be playful or they have to be like playing a game. So that's a way for you to be able to achieve that easily. But to solve the bar stool problem, I actually used the unlock to get the crappy bar stool that's like a mistake from the woodworking table, and I just put them at the bottom of the pool. So if you download this, that's why there are 4 bar stools at the bottom of the pool, because it's a requirement of a lounge. And so that's just what you have to do. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I super, super appreciate it. This lot is available for download on the gallery, Rustic Wedding Venue. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.